breath, a proud Hokie, and I'm here to introduce you to a very special young man who's made a mark on many of us this year. Since last June, you've gotten to know Zach Jacobs as your state president. However, this year, I've had the privilege to get to know Zach as one of my very best friends. I can't speak for you or just really describe how Zach has impacted you all this year, but he's left his mark on me with his sassy sense of humor, bright smile, and love for laughing. His mark also includes our adventures to cookout here in Blacksburg after a long day for him in official dress, and with his silly Snapchats that continuously make my day better every time he sends one. However, his mark goes even deeper than that with his incredible personality and passion for FFA. As I said, I had the chance to really get to know Zach this year and to be there for him during his happiest times as your state president and some of his most happy and stressful times in state office. But no matter if there was a lot going on for him and his teammates, or if it was a little bit of a slower time, as a state officer, he always showed me how much he valued his time as being on the team. And that isn't just because he gained great friendships around the country and did some awesome stuff around the world, but it's because of you, the FFA members. Not only have you phenomenal members been the inspiration for him this year, but you've made the year the best it could be. And furthermore, you've made her a better person because of it, through his service for you. Zach often credits FFA for everything he's become and for his passion in the agriculture industry. And I know he spread that passion this year with you and hopefully helped you fall in love with FFA like he did for me. I never had the chance to be an FFA, but by becoming closer to Zach, I felt like I became a part of it as I learned so much from him and watched him travel around the state while wanting to serve you all to the best of his ability. He put some blue and gold in his lifelong 4-H green heart. He gave me the gift of understanding the blue jacket and experiencing it, even without wearing it. And for that, I'm forever grateful. Not only does he make me want to be involved with FFA, but he makes me want to live to serve, work harder, be a better person, and be a strong leader as he's done this year. That's the mark Zach has left on me. If he hasn't already impacted you in some way, he's about to with his retiring address. So, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Zach Jacobs, your 2014-2015 Virginia FFA State President, as he delivers his retiring address entitled Here for a Reason.
Flashback to the year 2006. It was time for me to start the 6th grade at Beverly Manor Middle School, or BMMS as we called it. This was the time where they combined the 2 rival schools of the county together for 3 years. Now, I was determined to have as many friends as possible, even if that meant making friends with some enemies. But I was also really excited to finally start growing up. Now, I use growing up very lightly because mentally, yeah, I was growing. However, physically, I was stuck. Literally stuck at the massive height of 4'3" and coming in at an all-star weight of 60 pounds. I was super small. But coming from Churchville Elementary, our class of 5th graders was tight-knit. We were always the group of kids that would ball together in the gym, sit at the same lunch table, and even from time to time, walk each other to the nurse. I guess you could say that we were the cool kids. So we got off our bus and started making our way into the middle school. Now, how many of us have ever seen a movie or a TV show where they zoom in on a group of friends walking in slow motion and acting like they are the top dogs? Yeah? Anybody? Yeah, I think we've all seen that somewhere. And well, that was us. We were the Churchville Thunder and Herd, and we were going to rock these next 3 years. But little did we know that we were going to be split up into different teams with different teachers, classes, and lunches. But I thought to myself, you know, this will be totally fine because this will give me the chance to meet new people and make some new friends. However, I quickly found out that that was not going to be the case. It seems that every day I walked into school, it was going to be another day in jail. Now, I was never the kid that hated school. I loved to learn. I loved history and science and, of course, PE. But here at Beverly Manor, that was a different story. I dreaded every day knowing that I was going to wake up and have to go to school. I had no friends, I was bullied, and I felt completely alone. Now, when I talk about being bullied, I don't mean the simple teasing or joking around with your bros. I mean torture. It was every day that I was humiliated, tripped, and shoved. I can remember that one time in school when I was just walking to my locker, minding my own business, and these two guys came up behind me and shoved me into the lockers and then threw my stuff down the hallway. Or the time that I was kicked in the legs until I was forced to hit the ground. Or the time that my head was shoved into the brick wall of our school. I kept asking myself what I did to deserve that kind of treatment. Why was I being punished? But I couldn't come up with a solid answer. I wasn't mean to them. I didn't beat them in anything, well, because I was never any good at it. But what was wrong with me? Did I have a big target on my back? Was I being punished for being who I was? Why won't anyone help me? And where were my hometown friends when I really needed them the most? That was the thing. They were gone. They had changed. I had changed. And my life was flipped upside down. Now, one thing about me is that I love sports. I'm not very good at them, but I love to play. I used to play basketball, baseball, and golf. And we played basketball every day in gym. I was pushed around the court, picked on about my size, and told that I would never amount to anything. Now, believe me, for sports, that was and is still very true. I will be the first one to admit that I am not a professional by any means. But I still enjoy the games. But in PE, I was never allowed to participate in any of those activities. I was forced to go into the back room and run on the treadmill or just shoot hoops by myself. But I got to witness that our high school football team go on to win the state championship, and our girls basketball win back-to-back state champion titles. And I loved every minute of rooting on the Buffalo Gap Bison. But my passion for sports was being squeezed out of me as I was not allowed to fit in. Now, the locker room was the worst place on earth for me. I would have given anything at any time to not have to go in there. It was every day that the guys would come by and take my clothes, hide them, lock them in their lockers, or put them on the top shelves, where I would have to climb the lockers just to try to get my stuff. Now, I'm sure it was quite hilarious at the time to watch a short little scrub like me climbing these lockers. But other than that, it hurt. Finally, the 7th grade had come along, and it was time for us to join clubs. My agriculture teacher asked me to join the FFA, and so I went at it with all I had. I got to learn about all the cool things that an FFA member could do, and even wore my very first blue jacket. It was the best feeling in the world. I looked forward to any FFA event that I could do because that meant more FFA bucks for our banquet auction. I took the opportunity to go to leadership conferences and state convention that year. I had thought that I had finally found a place where I belonged. Now, we also had state officers come and visit, and I can remember going home to tell my mom that I would love to have the opportunity to serve Virginia FFA. But she told me that I couldn't do it because I wasn't a farmer. Now hang on a second. My mom only said that because that's what she knew the FFA as, not because she didn't support me. But hearing those words, that I couldn't do it, made me want to try that much more. I didn't want it because I wanted to prove my mom wrong or be defiant, but because I knew that I was not going to sit back and let go of a dream because I wasn't that thing. Because I wasn't a farmer was not going to hold me back. I just needed to embrace the gifts and my purpose so that I could try and achieve my dreams. Now, throughout the year, the officer team and I partook in any FFA event that we could do. We even went to national convention where I got to compete nationally on behalf of the chapter. I was on RFD-TV, and my family saw me on live television. I thought that was pretty cool. For the first time in 3 years, I had a smile on my face when I was in that blue jacket. For once, I felt like someone that mattered and not a doormat. Come banquet time, it was now my chance to run for an office. And to my surprise, I was elected chapter president at our banquet. I was ecstatic. But throughout that year, that officer team, all but one, put me down. All but one. You would think that being part of an officer team, you would cooperate, right? That was not the case with us. I was told that I couldn't do anything right and that I was the worst president. Talk about a shot to the heart. My place where I thought that I belonged was starting to seem too good to be true. Now, my family was willing to do anything to help me to get over the bullying and the torments. But that meant either talking to administration or going to a guidance counselor. But I knew that was just going to make things worse. They continued to pray, but I just couldn't stand to cause any more trouble. So I thought to myself, soon it will all be over as we move on to high school. So moving up the timeline to about August of 2009, still below 5 foot, and still under 100 pounds, and about to embark on the best 4 years of my life, or so I had been told. Come August, I had finally reached that 5 foot mark and started my high school career. But as soon as school started back up, so had the bullying. My hopes of our group of friends going back to the way we were ceased to exist. Now, one important thing that I left out of all of this is how I dealt with the torment. Up until the summer after my 9th grade year, I was suicidal. Now, that's not something that I'm proud of. However, that's just how bad it was for me. I thought that the world was better off without me. I felt that nobody cared about Zach. And I thought that it would ease the pain. But when I took the time to think about it, I was being selfish. I never took the time to think about who I would have hurt. I would have left my family, the few friends I had, and my community. Now that I wish I could tell you that when I stopped thinking about harming myself, that the bullying stopped. However, it was something better. I realized that God had something bigger out there for me. I found my life verse to be Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. That is what changed me. My faith in God helped me see the importance of all life, even mine. I am a firm believer that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, and that he was using my hardships to better me as a person so that I could see people and things in a different way. But I never really realized how important he was. I had forgotten about all that I had been given and just who made that happen. I just needed to turn in the right direction. With my faith in God, I knew he was going to use me to make a mark one day. But I always thought that you had to do something physical to leave an impact. However, that is way wrong. I have lived a dream this year, serving with 6 outstanding individuals. You all have truly made your mark on me, as well as the team. By having the opportunity to come to your chapter's visits, banquets, and other events has proved your passion to this organization. We have watched you grow within the FFA, and most importantly, within yourselves this year. Trust me when I say that we will always remember the physical impacts that you place on our hearts, but also the ones that you have no idea you even left. During this year of service, I got a phone call stating that a fellow who was 9 years older than me and a member of that state champion football team that I rooted for had a baby boy. And he told him that he wanted his son to grow up to be like me. Yeah, why me? I had never had a conversation with this guy in my entire life, much less didn't even know that he knew I existed. But why in the world would he want his son to grow up to be like me? He told him that as he watched me grow, he saw that I had a faith in God and I always had a smile on my face. Now, granted, he had no idea what I was going through at the time, but by smiling through all the pain and using my faith, I had had an impact on him and made my mark in his mind. To me, I thought this athlete, along with all the others I encountered, had it made. But in reality, I was the one who was blessed with a reason for my life. And it was time for me to start living like it. Mark Twain said that the 2 most important days of your life are the day that you were born and the day you find out why. I do not just believe. I know that we all have a purpose for our life. I believe that part of my purpose is to stand here and share my story with you all and to have served you this year. But I'm still discovering my purpose, and that's okay. You may or may not know your full purpose for life, but trust me, it will come full circle for you soon enough. There is no coincidence with God, as it is all planned with your purpose in mind. Proverbs 16:4 says that the Lord has made everything with its own purpose, even the wicked for the day of evil. There is so much out there for us to have a part in, whether that is on a sports team, in our community, or in this blue jacket. We all have a reason and gifts for our life, and it's time that we decide to do something with those. Virginia FFA, I challenge you to embrace your gifts and your reasons so that you can make your mark on the world.
But I can't quite describe how much fun it's been serving with you this year. From making our late night cookout runs and eating our body weight in their cheesecake milkshakes, to being able to share a love for livestock, there's hardly ever a dull moment when we are together. Your ability to be able to make friends in an instant is an amazing quality. It always seems like you know just how to make someone smile. I can't wait to be your roommate next year at Virginia Tech.
Zach, your love for showing cattle and hogs, Harley Pro, farms, Starbucks, and Africa can only be tested by your love of family and Virginia FFA. I will never forget the time we went on a farm tour and you called in the hogs and the farmer thought it was coyotes. You make an awesome tour guide of Highland County, especially during the Maple Festival. We definitely left our mark there. Thank you for always bringing excitement into the team and hosting us so many times. Love, Alice.
Zach, from all of our adventures at conferences and our long car trips, it's an honor to call you my friend. You have some of the craziest playlists, excessive hygiene habits, and phobias of anyone I know. I look back on the many selfies we took this year with a warm heart. You are one of the most dedicated and committed people I've ever met. I know that wherever you will go in life, you'll give 110% to whatever you do. I also think you have an impressive ability to communicate with others. One day, I hope you'll be able to deliver a speech half as good as Zach Jacobs. I'm looking forward to our friendship and car rides in the future and can't wait for you to join Hokie Nation next year.
From your gorgeous selfies to your ridiculous storyboards, whether we're in Africa or in Virginia, I appreciate that you always want to have fun, but not till the work's done. And we can't forget about these mystical oils that, I hate to admit, actually did work as I got sick and you didn't. All around, you're a good guy with great goals, and I can't wait for us to be Hokies together next year.
Zach, your hard work and free spirit always shines with everything you do. Whether it's teaching your little brothers how to show like a true cattleman or jamming to Jason Derulo. Thank you for always making me laugh and trying your best on the soccer field. Your humility is something we'll never forget.
Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Zach, thank you for leading our team this year and challenging us to reach our full potential. Your passion for leadership is contagious, and your gentle guiding helped us reach our goals. You are one of those people who can pull off anything you set your mind to, and I am excited to see what your future holds. Make your mark always, Brittany.
This is how we roll.
Zach, from your love for selfies, Harley Pro, livestock judging, and the sound of metal forks in your mouth against your teeth. Thank you for keeping us excited and pumped throughout this year with everything we did. Your dedication to the FFA is commendable and inspiration to all of us. Thank you for helping us to find our purpose in Virginia FFA. Love always, Garrett, Ryan, Alice, Brittany, Morgan, and Daniel. Virginia FFA, your 2014-2015 State President, Zach Jacobs.